them shackles off him. Poor sod can't eat proper.
Dunno, not sure I like that. What if he runs for it? He's worth a heap of coin.
Ah, bollocks. Been holding him a week, hasn't tried a thing. Why'd he up and bolt now? Matter of fact, got to thinking. What did a sweet, gentle chap like him do to get the Queen of Zerrikania so riled?
She's a shrew, that's what. Queen and witch in one. Worst of both worlds.
Enough about her. What do you say to one more of your tales? While we toss down some cards.
Ah, why not? And since you mentioned one queen... The year 1267. War hung in the air, its scent palpable. The mighty empire of Nilfgaard stood poised, greedily eyeing the northern realms just across the Yaruga. In light of the threat, the realm's sovereigns met in summit. They made declarations, pledged fraternal assistance, forged alliances, and then, in good spirits, dispersed. Among them, Meve, Queen of the Twin Realms Lyria and Rivia. Know the name? Heard her beauty extolled? Justly so. Remarkable she was. Not for her graceful exterior, but for her persistence and courage. Where was I? As the Queen and her retinue neared her capital, Count Caldwell appeared. In Meve's absence, the Count was to have helped her son, the youthful Prince Willem, run the Twin Kingdoms. Caldwell had clearly ridden hard. Drops of perspiration dangled from his whiskers, his neck red and chafed from a ruff, starched stiff.
Hail, Your Majesty! Delighted to see you in good health. The summit, it ended fruitfully, I hope?
Yes, at its end letters were exchanged, documents signed. Paper. Time will tell of what value. That will suffice as cordialities go, Caldwell. Tell me what's happened, for I sincerely doubt sheer longing prompted you to ride out.
Indeed, Your Grace. Another circumstance inspired me to do so. The strays of Sparla, the bandits, I was to tend to during Your Grace's absence. The situation's gotten out of hand, I fear.
Steady, Caldwell. Come now. Deep breath. All right. Speak. What has happened? Be precise.
As Your Grace ordained. I set out and was nipping at the bandits' tails for long. We pursued for weeks, until scouts returned, having sighted the strays' camp in the forest near Locheren. We waited for nightfall, to surprise them as they slept. Alas, it proved a ruse. We found the tents empty. Straw-stuffed dummies round the fire. Soon, we learned that as we waited for the sunset, the strays had snuck away, rounded our positions and ridden to Hawksburn.
I beg your pardon, my lord. The tax collectors. That is where they station.
So the gold? All of it?
It's stolen, Your Grace. But I shall do all in my power to recover it. This I vow. If it be Your Grace's wish.
After weeks in the saddle, Your Grace's wishes are modest. A hot bath and a night's sleep in her own bed. Yet, they shall have to wait. I must look personally to this matter. Your force, Caldwell, I will now command. You... send a herald to Hawksburn. They must prepare for the Queen's arrival. Air the rooms, dust off the porcelain. Make certain they do it. Do you see now, Reynard? I believe I foretold it would be thus. My son wasn't ready in the least to rule an entire country.
I confess, Prince Willem has much to learn yet.
Yes. And very little time.
Thought it were bandits riding in. They stretched her over a fire till she told them where she buried her gold.
Rather die than tell him she would. But I know where she kept it. Sit tight, sketch it out for you.
The strays, they're called, Your Majesty, because they bite something nasty and bay as if by the moon possessed.
Thought it were bandits riding in.
The strays, they're called.
Count Caldwell rode at the column's head, scanning its flanks with a wary eye that, despite his advanced age, proved very sharp indeed.
Your Majesty! Bandits! There! At the tree line!
The Count's footmen, unaccustomed to escorting their queen, sought to shield her with their bodies and assumed a tight formation to do so. They were promptly knocked aside as Meve charged headlong at the bandits, brandishing her blade and bellowing a ferocious cry.
Attack! Charge!
Bigger they are, easier they are to tug.
To attack the Queen? An outrage!
Your Grace, the men await. You must lead to begin the attack.
I'm a one.
Yeah, yeah!
Aye.
Salt of the earth they are, Your Grace. They'd follow you into fire. You need simply say the word.
I shall teach you to respect the crown, you dogs!
Look out! Seek cover! We are bombarded!
If you insist. The strays took tail and run! Yes! Our victory is assured! Sound the horns! May they sing praises of this triumph for ages!
The battle's not yet done. It is better to conserve our strength, prepare for a strike that will prove decisive. Battle formation! Protect the Queen!
Should have listened to me, old lady. One bullet's all I need.
We'll catch 'em all!
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
I congratulate you on your latest victory, Your Grace. The bandits stood not a chance.
Matters seem indeed to have gotten out of hand, to put it mildly.
Meve said, arms crossed atop her shining breastplate.
They've grown bold. Doubtless after the raid on the manor, the tax collectors. I've not heard of an ambush on the high road afore.
Caldwell explained, avoiding his liege's wrathful gaze.
Enough, Caldwell. We must put things right. Come!
The Queen's retinue set out, cavalry in front, infantry and arbalists close behind, and, following in the rear, the bandits, bound in chains.
I do adore this prospect.
Yes. Lyria, the Pearl of the North. With its hills and dales. Why, its beauty matched only by that of its queen.
After 3 weeks in the saddle, I've my doubts, Count. We shall pitch camp here. Our soldiers need respite. A spell of it they deserve. A bit of respite, Reynard?
Yes. But if you've any new orders, Your Grace, I can be ready at any...
At ease, Reynard. At ease. Alas, I've come to fear Willem might simply not be cut out to be a king, let alone a good one.
A harsh judgment, Your Grace. Let's not be hasty. The prince is but 16 summers to him.
And is thus fully grown. The crown he should be able to bear at his age. Yet I left the land in his care for but a few months, and look what's become of it. Bandits roam and loot unchecked.
We might yet learn of mitigating circumstances. Events beyond his control.
Would that it were so, Reynard. Would that it were so. Elsewise, we must hope Ancaeus will demonstrate more wit than his brother. Though I see little chance of that, either. Don't you find it wearisome sitting alone? Wouldn't you prefer another's company? Swapping tales with the innkeep, even?
Your concern, I most appreciate, Your Grace. But I prefer silence.
Has it always been thus with you? Ever a man apart?
Quite the contrary, Your Grace. As a youth, I gloried in company, delighted in conversation.
So what was it that changed you?
That delight nearly cost me my head. But do you truly not know the tale, milady? How I came to be your departed husband's aide?
I don't, but would gladly hear it.
I had but 20 winters behind me when I enlisted. Yet I was granted the rank of lieutenant from the start, not by merit, but by birth. The respect of veteran officers, both my peers and seniors, that they could not grant. Nor did I deserve it. To earn that respect became my driving aim. And to seem wise beyond my years, I began spouting off about the king's decisions. This maneuver Reginald botched, that he failed to think through, and yet elsewhere he'd blundered like a schoolboy.
Talk of that nature could only ever result in misfortune.
It was not long before I was clanking about in shackles. Another officer had reported me. I was charged with lèse-majesté. The court-martial took but a quarter of an hour to deliver verdict and sentence. I was guilty of treason, and the noose awaited me. But Reginald first stayed the execution, then ordered that I repeat every word I'd uttered about his person or deeds. Soaked with sweat, my voice cracking, I did as he ordained. Reginald listened, raptly and silently, and when I'd finished, he declared I was right. He then appointed me his personal aide. A clever lad like you, I can always use at my side.
Indeed. Though hardly sharp himself, wisdom in others Reginald both recognized and heeded.
It was then I swore two things. Firstly, never again to wag my tongue like a fool. Secondly, never to betray his trust.
And you never did. Know what he told me moments before he passed? Trust none of them, Meve, save Reynard. The old sod was right about that, at least. I thank you for sharing that tale, Reynard. Truly. It's time I attended to other matters.
Is this what I pay taxes for? To be robbed along the high road, and in broad daylight, no less? Were it not for mandatory merchant routes and stacking rights, why, I'd have gone round, through Sodden. They told me! Lyria's a wild land, lawless, chaotic, a damn disgrace. Were it not for mandatory merchant routes and stacking rights, they told me! Lyria's a wild land, lawless, chaotic, a damn disgrace.
Gods of mercy! Whatever is this filth?
Necrophages. Drawn here by blood's scent.
For such vile monstrosities to prowl the high roads of my realm, I won't allow it! Attack!
Broad daylight, with the heat positively sweltering. Have we to do with some manner of sorcery?
We shouldn't exclude the possibility, my lord, and great caution we must exercise.
Reynard, what is this? Some spectre? A strigger?
I can't be sure, Your Grace. It's the first I've seen of any such thing.
These carrion eaters. I know them. appeared on my estate last spring, enticed by the corpses of those of my sheep that fell. Harmless at first, until, that is, they fill their guts. Seemed to become quite powerful then.
Fearsome they look, true. But they bleed just as we do. Onward! Slay the filth!
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Ah, so fortunate we routed the beasts before they had a chance to gorge.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Your Grace, yet more come.
They fill their bellies, ma'am. This doesn't bode well. Oh no, not well at all.
One boat's all I need.
Curses. Strong as steers they've grown. And they show no fear.
Frenzied, my lady. It's bloodlust. They lose all instinct to survive, feel no pain whatever. I've witnessed this before.
Your Majesty, we must give ground. Fall back. We can't win. Must minimize our losses. My queen, there is no shame in ceding the field when fortunes turn sour.
Victory must be ours now. We shall not retreat. Arms at the ready. Attack! Look there! Yet another abomination.
Ugh, that stench. My salts. Where are my salts?
Give me a target.
Company! Forward march! The beasts hadn't a chance against us. Victory is ours.
Many trees we've felled, my lady. Might you have need of them? So, take whatever your heart desires. They call themselves strays? Well, we'll treat them like strays. We build a bridge, brick by brick, a one, a two, the pillar grows thick. There ain't no bandits here. Not surprising neither, for we'd chase them off with our hatchets, we would. They call themselves strays? Well, we'll treat them like strays.